What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce6. Welcome back to another Blueprint episode of Call of Duty Mobile. So today we are going to be discussing the newly released GKS Mystic cards. I originally thought that the skin would actually release around Monday and we would get the Maddox draw on Thursday, since, you know, the next, like after that is the legendary Nyx draw that could come out on a Thursday of next week. But it turns out, I believe that it might have, I think next week might have 2 draws instead of 1. So unfortunately, just for this week, we are going to be talking about the Mystic cards GKS. So this right here is the 3rd legendary skin for the weapon. So it's been quite a while since we've gotten a legendary skin for the GKS. It's probably been well over a year, maybe a year and a half, since we've gotten the GKS Wanderer. And over time, the GKS has received a lot of different buffs, but never legendaries. And I'm talking about like these buffs being really significant to the point where now it's a 3-shot monster over 20 meters. You would think that, you know, because of significant buffs like that, the GKS would get a legendary at some point, but that just never really came to be. For the most part, we had to wait a very long time until we got this one. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I have been wanting another GKS legendary for a while because I've been kind of like just stuck with the Wanderer, and there were chances for me to get the tactical unicorn, but like for me personally, I do enjoy using the Wanderer, but like, you know, anything but those 2 would be nice, you know, something that keeps it fresh for at least the GKS. Luckily enough, my friend Parker does have the original tactical unicorn skin, so I'm actually able to do a comparison between the 3, which will come soon. So the GKS Mystic cards was a legendary skin that I thought was going to be kind of lackluster because it's not, you know, reactive like the others, and it didn't seem like it was going to have any significant features. The only thing that I could think of is the physical animation of, you know, the little arm of the clock on the side of the gun. So keep in mind, the other GKSs don't really have any physical animations. This is the only one that does. And it's basically the clock hand that's just spinning around, or I guess just moving every second. The cool thing about it is that it does have its own noise. So when you're using the gun, you do hear the ticking time clock like just constantly. Of course, it's not something that's really intrusive to the gameplay experience. I mean, it's very faint, but of course, if you're in a quiet place, obviously you're going to hear it. What I hope is that if you're playing Search and Destroy with this weapon, the enemy can't hear it, hopefully. The weird thing is that it is kind of bugged because let's say if your friend picks it up or anything, they're going to hear the ticking even if they don't have the weapon already. So it is kind of a weird bug, which I'm assuming that they're going to fix, but there is another aspect to the gun that I hope the devs fix in the near future, which is actually a pretty big downside. It might not influence people to buy this skin, which is the AIMSHAKE. This is a key issue that's been happening for a while with a lot of legendary skins and just some base guns in general. The M4 and the M16 Target 3 are very good examples of what I'm talking about when it comes to AIMSHAKE. When the Target 3 M16 first came out, there was a significant amount of AIMSHAKE, but it did take a while for the devs to actually fix it within an in-game update, or I think within a major update. I'm not really sure when that happened. But yeah, the GKS Mystic cards is also facing this issue, and it can be kind of intrusive. However, those are really just the 2 major downsides of this skin. For the time being, obviously the devs have complete power to just alleviate the issue, and it might be within an in-game update like very soon, given the fact that the legendary just came out and people are going to be pointing that out. And if it doesn't come out this week or the next, it might come out maybe next season when there's a major update. So again, it may not be worth your money right now, but it's probably going to be worth it a little bit later on down the line. I know it's unfortunate, but it's something that I just have to deal with for the time being. So now we move on to the Iron Sight. So the Iron Sight, I mean, it's very hard to compare because all of the Iron Sights for all 3 legendary GKSs are more or less the same, or I guess very similar, and they're just really, really helpful. But I would say that this one is probably one of the better ones out of the 3. Maybe not the best one, but definitely one of the better ones. But like I said, it's very hard to say because they're all very good in their own right. So again, I mean, that's something that I'm gonna have to like figure out a little bit more, just take a closer look at. But when it comes to the effects are kind of minuscule. Like I said, there are physical animations to it, you know, with the clock thing. But as for, you know, the outer animations, there's just like cards that come out on the side of the gun. And of course, it does react whenever you do get a kill. So you're going to see like a bunch of cards flying out. As for the death effect, basically when you kill an enemy, they turn into a giant card with just a bunch of other cards coming out of it. And that's pretty much it. I heard it's very loud on the outside perspective, but I'm not really sure if that's completely true, because I did lend my gun to my friend a few times and it didn't really sound that loud or annoying. But another thing I do want to talk about also is the magazine. So the magazine is a little different. It's not something that's just like a straight little rectangular magazine like a lot of other SMGs. It kind of is at the same time, at least when it comes to inserting the mag into the gun, but like it kind of has this bison feel to it. I guess it has like that little horizontal structural design, I guess, if I can say that. It's very hard to explain the mag, but it does look different, but it does insert the same way as it would normally. It's just shaped in a different way. That's the best way I could explain it. But now let's talk about the sound effects. So the sound effects are actually pretty good. I would say they're probably more superior than the other legendaries. And obviously this is a more recent one, so it's a little bit more it's more evolved. More legendary skins are going to be more advanced. But this one's actually pretty good because when you reload it, it sounds like, I guess, a casino slot machine. And whenever you shoot it, it kind of sounds very heavy, like very, very metallic. But overall, like the effects are okay. I really do like the reload sound. I would say it's the most unique out of the three. So overall, the GKS Mystic cards is a pretty solid legendary skin, but it does have the AIMSHAKE downside. I know the sound effect thing is a problem too, but it's not as big as the AIMSHAKE is, because obviously the AIMSHAKE is the one that is more intrusive to your gameplay. It kind of gets in your way and it makes it a little bit harder to control. That's the same issue that I have with like the M4 in its base form, as well as like the M16 Target Knight 3 when that still had AIMSHAKE. But of course, with 3 years of this game's experience, as well as knowing the devs pretty well and how they perform when it comes to fixing shit, it's obviously going to get fixed in the future, but hopefully they fix it soon enough that people still have time to buy the skin in the first place before it goes away. But anyways, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe for some more COD mode content. I'll see you guys next time.